what we did was build a team of people in a lot of places around the country. And this is why Martin was so popular. We didn't just go into one city, and we went from city to city because everybody wanted to change that system that said only white folks could go here. I would always have at least 50 people in every single workshop, and Dr. King would walk in, I got 50 people for 5 days, and Martin would say something like, nobody can ride your back if your back's not bent. Martin would talk about why we needed a civil rights movement, and that they would make up the base of that movement. And that's what we did, that's what he did. And he would go, if I've done a workshop in Florida, and I told him I need you in Florida, he'd be there.
What did you do with them, Ms. Cohen? When you trained them, how did you train them? What was the training that you gave them?
In one sense, I just told you, but in another sense, it would depend on where they came from and what they needed, whether or not they had any degree of involvement in the civil rights movement already where they lived, because it wasn't universal everywhere, because some people were afraid to do anything. And that's why we would send a team of people, and we had a huge team of people, and Martin would go where we had been staffed, where his team had been. He would go in places like that, and I was always with him, and we would set up training workshops, and we call them training workshops in nonviolence, and it was that people needed to know what that was, what nonviolence really was. And so we could stay in a city for several days.
And you would train 40 or 50 people.
Yeah.
But weren't you training them to go get in trouble? I mean, they were going to get arrested, right?
Yeah, this is the best trouble you ever did see. Trouble? Get in trouble? Of course they get in trouble. If they didn't get in trouble, you'd be the only one voting. Trouble? Yeah, if we didn't get in trouble, you've got to look at how very, very basic social change happens. We needed massive numbers of people to decide I can vote. I would have a room larger than this sometimes. And the people who came, these were all mostly adults. And I started talking about the social change that we were working towards. And because I was the director of education. And I started that, and if people were sitting there, like your age, I mean, people would sit there and the eyes, just sort of staring, because it didn't make any sense that African American folk couldn't vote, like we were not citizens. But because I had 30 or 40 people, and we had them because we had traveled, I had a big team of people. We had them from different cities, and they came to understand, if they're in my workshop, they came to understand that that's why we can get treated any way anybody wants to treat us, because we don't vote. But when you leave this workshop, you will be voters. I'm about to cry. So when you leave this workshop, you will be a voter. And even when we had to get a car and take them to the voting place. The singing was what's the adjective that describes it? The singing was just a part of our tools, our way of expressing. I'm gonna do what the Spirit says do. And then you keep, I'm gonna do what the Spirit says do. What the Spirit says do, I'm gonna do, oh Lord. I'm gonna do what the Spirit says do. I'm gonna vote cause the Spirit says vote. I'm gonna vote cause the Spirit says vote. When the Spirit says vote, gonna vote, oh Lord, I'm gonna vote, cause the Spirit said. We sang that not cause we were playing. We sang it because we also meant it. We also meant it.